Welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Good day to everyone who's listening, of course, on all of our platforms, Spotify, even on Facebook, and our social media pages. My name is 𝗙𝗪𝗯. I am the host of CyberCEO, and we are very lucky to have another CyberCEO on board, of course, on the show right now. Christi, how are you doing today?
Good afternoon, I believe, or whatever it is. I'm doing great. Thank you,
All
𝗙𝗪𝗯.
right, that's perfect. That's perfect. So, by the way, of course, for the benefit of everyone who's listening, Christi, can you tell us something about yourself, please?
Okay, well, my name is Christi. I am a Keller Williams agent in Orlando, Florida, and I've been working in real estate 20 years. Long time.
Wow,
Yeah.
20 years.
And I currently work on a team, and I'm a buyer's agent,
Mhm.
and I'm very excited about my new cyberbacker. So,
All right, that's perfect. That's perfect. Your new cyberbacker, Hazel, am I right?
yes, Hazel is my new cyberbacker. Yep.
Now, I know you've only been with the cyberbacker program for a few weeks now, but we just wanted to know how is the experience so far?
I actually went back and I looked at some journaling that I had done
Hmm.
back about 2 or 3 months ago with my coach about bringing on I was looking for an assistant, and I wrote down exactly what I wanted at that time, and I looked back and it's a wow. Because I was like, how can I find someone that could understand what I want to give to my clients and be smart and focused and attentive and be someone that's very administrative, which I'm not. And my cyberbacker filled those needs. So it was great.
All right, that's awesome. Now, how is it so far working with Hazel? Can you tell me something about her? Maybe personality, the everyday interaction.
You know, I continue to smile every day. Some of the things that Hazel has done for me is the first Friday, we
Hmm.
were having our sign off because we Zoom at least twice a day.
Hmm.
And we were having our sign off, and I said, okay, Hazel, well, my goal this weekend is to, get 2 more clients under contract so we could
Hmm.
practice next week. And she looked at me and she said, bring it. This was after a
Wow.
week. I was like, okay, this girl is special.
A go-getter, someone who
Yeah.
is growth-minded, right? Who is there to support you no matter what.
It's amazing that someone that I don't even really.
Hmm.
So I had an assistant prior to Hazel,
Hmm.
like that was in my office when we used to go to the office. And I told Hazel this on her 30-day check-in last week. I said, I feel more of a connection working with Hazel, and she's thousands and thousands of miles away, and we just work through Zoom, than the ultimate time that I spent with my first assistant that was the wrong hire, unfortunately.
Wow, that's a lot to say because imagine you're
No,
working together. You are working together in the business, but not really in front of each other. Good thing we
no.
have Zoom now because it's technology, right?
Yeah, and Hazel's very adaptive to it. She listens and learns, and she holds me accountable for things. And it's really interesting how she's helped me become better, and she's realizing really quickly what I'm not good at, and that's what she's stepped up to do. So
Wow. Imagine only a couple of weeks in this partnership and you've already created a very successful partnership with Hazel. Now, let me ask you, is this your first time working with remote team members?
no,
No,
this is
not
not.
really.
No.
Now, I know your experience has been going great. Now, I know it will also turn out to becoming a very successful partnership, right? Now, let me ask, within those weeks that you've been with Cyberbacker, what makes it successful?
I think that the one missing piece that I was always searching for in anyone that I've worked with,
Hmm.
the virtual assistant that I worked with before Hazel and the person in person, was the culture, the ability to understand how I care about my clients. I never found that. I could find somebody that could type, I could
Hmm.
find somebody that could do spreadsheets, answer phones, but I never could find somebody. And it's just really amazing to me that someone that's so far away could fill that need. She's well trained. She knows what a 411 is. She knows
Hmm.
what a GPS is. She came to me that way. Um, Now, of course, I've done a lot of one-on-one training with her and telling her what's important to me, but she came to me from Cyberbacker, I think with at least, what is it, how many days? 2 weeks? They
Yes.
trained 2 weeks with at least 2 weeks worth of the basics from a company that I work with, 𝗙𝗹𝗹𝗶𝗹, so she could start to speak my own language. Hazel had zero real estate experience. She didn't even know. She did buy a house. She's bought her own house, but she's never worked in the real estate world. And she's already, she's very smart, very smart.
Very smart, of course. I know she would love to be working with you for the years to come, of course, creating and building on this relationship. Now, let me ask you, how much time has your cyberbacker saved you ever since she started?
That's a good question because, of course, my coach has taught me to track my numbers. So before Hazel started, one of the milestones that I chose to track this year was how many people I was getting into my command database, which I meant how many people that I was taking out of my current database. And these are people that I've interacted with, I've done business with, so that I can get them into command, get them fully integrated, full address, full name, correct email, correct telephone number. I started this year with the goal to get 520 in my database, which would have been me doing 2 a day. And it just seemed that every day it got to the bottom of the list and it didn't get done. And I started to feel kind of like discouraged about it. So when Hazel came on, our first 30-day focus was not about anything with my database, but she grew so fast and she was wanting more stuff. So I'm like, well, let me give this a try. So I showed her on Zoom how I went back and forth and how I double checked things and could she do this? And she picked up immediately. So now Hazel does 5 a day.
Wow, 5 a day.
And she puts them in to my command and she notes them so that they become a quarterly call, so that the next day they're there, I'm connecting with them. And instead of getting in 520 by the end of the year, Hazel and I will get 520 in by October 10th.
Wow. Imagine you still
And
have
they
a
will
few
all be
months.
able to start being on campaigns and touches. This not only will save time, but this will generate more business because Gary Keller says for every, if I have 520 people in my database, I'm going to get a 10% return. That's 52 people. Isn't that great?
That is awesome. Imagine an additional 52 people. And imagine that's only up until October 12th. What if you finish the year, right?
Right. Well, then it's more. But the goal for the year was 520. So instead of Hazel will enable me to get that goal done by October 10th, which, if you want to know something else, which is really cool, which will enable me to start a Christmas card program for all of those people early, which is even more fun.
That's fun. That's very, very exciting, Christy. Now, there are still a lot of our listeners that aren't really familiar. What is a cyberbacker? What can a cyberbacker do? So, can you share with us what are the things or what are the tasks that your cyberbacker Hazel is doing for you in your business right now?
That's a great question, Jello. And I think for a lot of real estate agents, if I could speak for myself and maybe others like me, it is the biggest thing is what do they do? what do I do? What's my 20%? What's my 80%? And how does that relate? And Hazel was taught that really well. So the best thing that I can say is that initial consultation, Jello, that I had with Marjorie, which was from Cyberbacker, she sat down and she said, okay, what do you want them to do? And she let me lead that. And fortunately, I had a really smart coach. And about 6 or 7 months ago, he told me to start keeping a list. He said, Christy, every time something comes in your mind that you don't like to do or you don't want to do as an agent, I want you to write it down. So when Marjorie and I got together, she just started asking me, so what would that look like? And of course, transaction coordination was a major piece. And that's what we're focusing on. And that is so huge to know that she's doing that while I'm doing my lead gen in the morning. And then the other part is just all my dreams. She's working in my command. She's just going to start making my buyer consultation mail out that I'm going to mail out to everybody. She's starting to, like I said, put those items into command, integrate into our team, starting to go to give information to team meetings, anything you really want.
Anything that you want, right? Anything that can be done virtually, of course, in front of a computer, they can absolutely do.
Absolutely.
Now, I know these type of roles could grow, of course. It's only been a few weeks, as you mentioned. It's only been 30 days. Now, this position could grow. What are some of the things that you're considering having your cyberbacker do for you in your business in the future?
Sure. I think one of the most successful things that would help the business grow is, and it was funny because I was having one of the first tasks I had Hazel do was to create that little email template on the bottom with her
Oh
picture,
yes.
and
Uh-huh.
she was. And originally she typed in, "Oh, I'm just going to be I'm transaction coordination." And the next Zoom I said, "Hazel, how does it feel if you could just be called my client career coordinator?" She goes, "That makes me feel so
Wow.
special." I said, "Well, that's the dream, is that you become intimately involved with every client that we have as well, because you're going to help them get their house closed. And then you're going to take them and stay in touch with them and work with the database." So my dream is that she just becomes that client care person, even so much as
Mhm.
me.
Wow, that's awesome. I know she must feel very excited.
She's
Already being called that, very excited. And you just mentioned earlier you just got off the phone with her just before we had this interview,
amazing.
right?
Yep. We meet 2 times a day. We meet at 8:45.
Hmm.
We go over my 411, and then my 80%, she understands, becomes her 20%. And then she goes to work on that, which is great. And then I go into lead gen. And then at 11:45, we come back out, we meet, we talk, see if there's anything else.
Hmm.
Since she's been in her first 30, 60, 90s, we're in our 60-day right now.
Yes.
We meet at least 2 or 3 times in the afternoon for an hour or so, and I'm just doing one-on-one training with her, and she just seems to love that. So, and I do too.
That's awesome because of course you still have to invest your time as well in these type
Mhm.
of relationships. It's gonna be a two-way street, right?
Yeah. She
Okay.
loves it. She loves anything that I can feed into her or give her. She just takes it and runs with it.
He's like a sponge then, right now.
Yep.
Just getting more information, getting more knowledge, of course, from you, who's very, very experienced. Imagine 20 years in the business. Now, let me ask Christy, have there been any challenges working with Cyberbacker?
You know, I wish I could say that there were
Mhm.
any major challenges. Um, outside of like and these are so minimal. I told
Mhm.
the one woman that called me to get the check-in, outside of the normal, like, little bugs that we have with
Mhm.
technology, I haven't really had any challenges. I would say I would do it again and again and again.
Wow, we
And
love
I
that.
wish I would have done it a long time ago.
Don't worry, you're already on with your own cyberbacker anyway. So this is the first step, of course, to success. Again, just for you to build that relationship with your cyberbacker now is the next step, right?
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
again, for the benefit of everyone who's listening, there are still a lot of people right now who are still having second thoughts. Something is stopping them from hiring their own cyberbacker. What advice would you be able to give them?
Wise words. Sometimes you have to stop and do something for yourself, even though it takes like a lot of time, and just have the consultation. It's the best hour that you will spend. And if it's not for you, it's an hour that you would have spent doing something crazy anyway.
Wow, we really love that. Now, I know Hazel will be listening to the episode right now. Once we
Yep,
get this online, of course, would you want to give her a quick shout out?
I sure would. I love you, Hazel. You're the best.
There we go. So, Hazel, continue being the best. And of course, Christy, thank you very much for being on the show. We know you're very busy.
Yeah,
We
thank
appreciate your
you.
time.
It
Now,
was fun. I'd do
of,
it again. Thank
of
you.
course, we would want you to be on the show again, maybe in the future, of course, to check back on you again. Now, for all of our listeners, if you'd like to save more time, just like Christy has saved her time, visit our website, of course. And Christy, again, thank you very much for being
You
here.
bet.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.